Before we begin today's story, make sure to like this video and subscribe to the channel. It really helps us continue making meaningful content. Today, we're diving into a question that has puzzled philosophers and everyday people alike. It starts with a simple situation but quickly becomes a test of our moral instincts. Imagine yourself behind the controls of a speeding trolley. The brakes have completely failed. Up ahead, 5 workers are on the track, completely unaware of what's coming. You try everything, but nothing works. Just as panic begins to rise, you notice something. There's a small lever near your hand. If you pull it, the trolley will shift onto a side track. But there's one problem: one worker is standing there. If you do nothing, 5 will die. If you switch tracks, 1 will die. Both choices feel terrible, but the moment is slipping away. This is the classic version of the trolley problem. And the question is simple but painful. What's the right thing to do? If we poll most people, the majority say they would turn the trolley. Their reasoning is straightforward. Saving 5 lives feels better than letting 5 die to avoid killing 1. Some compare it to real-life tragedies where people made sacrifices to prevent even bigger losses. Others say it's just common sense. But morality isn't always as clear as it looks. Numbers alone don't tell the whole story. Now let's switch the scenario a bit. This time, you're not driving the trolley, you're standing on a bridge above the tracks. Once again, the trolley is heading straight toward 5 workers. You have no controls, no levers, and no brakes. But next to you stands a large man leaning over the railing. If you push him onto the track, his weight will stop the trolley. He will die. The 5 workers will live. Would you push him? Suddenly, most people change their answer. Even those who were comfortable turning the trolley now hesitate. Something about physically pushing someone to their death feels morally worse. But why? After all, the outcome is the same. 1 dies, 5 survive. Some say it's because the man on the bridge wasn't involved in the situation to begin with. Others argue that using someone as a tool feels wrong, no matter the outcome. Let's examine another viewpoint. Some say the difference is between letting harm happen and directly causing harm. Turning a steering wheel feels less like a direct act of killing, while pushing a person with your own hands feels like murder. This emotional distinction shapes our moral decisions, even if the mathematics stay the same. But then again, is doing nothing really innocent? Both choices are actions. Now imagine another setting. You're a doctor in an emergency room. 6 patients arrive after an accident. 5 have moderate injuries and can be saved if you treat them quickly. 1, however, is severely injured and needs all your attention. If you focus on the severely injured patient, the other 5 will die. If you help the 5, the 1 will die. Suddenly, the numbers seem to matter again. Most people choose to save the 5. But now shift to an even tougher medical scenario. You're a transplant surgeon with 5 patients in dire need of different organs. All will die soon without a donor. Then you notice a healthy person in the next room, asleep after a routine checkup. If you take his organs, he dies, but you save 5 lives. The math is again the same, 1 life versus 5. Yet almost no one agrees with killing the healthy patient. These cases reveal 2 different ways people think about morality. One way focuses on consequences, believing the right action is the one that produces the most overall good. Save the most lives, minimize suffering. That's the core idea. We call this consequentialism, and a major version of it is utilitarianism. Many people naturally lean toward this thinking in some scenarios. The other approach looks not at the outcome, but at the action itself. It says certain things are morally wrong even if they lead to good results. Killing an innocent person on purpose, using someone as a tool, breaking someone's rights, these are wrong regardless of consequences. This approach is called categorical moral reasoning, often associated with the philosopher Immanuel Kant. So why do our choices shift from one scenario to another? Because we switch between these 2 moral lenses without even realizing it. In the trolley driving case, we think like utilitarians, save the most people. In the pushing the man case, we think in categorical terms, never kill an innocent person intentionally. The tension between these 2 instincts shapes many moral debates. Philosophers throughout history, from Aristotle to Mill, have tried to build a consistent system to answer such dilemmas. But real people aren't always consistent, and real life doesn't always offer clean answers. That's why studying these questions can feel uncomfortable. We're forced to examine our own values, and sometimes they contradict each other. Now let's revisit a real-life case that mirrors these dilemmas. In the late 1800s, a British crew was stranded at sea without food or water. Days passed. Their strength faded. Desperation grew. Eventually, to survive, two men killed the weakest member of their group and ate him. When they were rescued, they were put on trial. The central question was what they did: murder or survival. The court had to decide whether necessity could excuse killing. If the goal is to maximize survival, the act might seem justified. But if we believe some actions are always wrong, then no amount of hunger or fear can turn killing into a moral act. The judges debated fiercely. Philosophers still discuss it today. It's a real example of the trolley problem, but with human faces and heartbreaking stakes. The deeper lesson from all these stories is that moral reasoning is complicated. Our instincts pull us in different directions. Our emotions clash with logic, and our decisions often depend on perspective, whether we're drivers, bystanders, doctors, or survivors. These stories force us to choose between values we hold dear: life, dignity, fairness, rights, courage, and survival. Philosophy pushes us to question what we think we know. It takes everyday ideas, like justice, goodness, and duty, and reveals how fragile they are when tested. Once we start questioning, we can't simply return to our old assumptions. That's the risk and the reward of studying moral philosophy. It changes how you see the world and yourself. Some people avoid these questions because they feel impossible to answer. They claim that morality is just personal opinion. But even if we try to ignore moral thinking, we still live out moral choices every day. Whether we speak up, stay silent, help others, or protect ourselves, our actions reflect deeper principles, whether we admit it or not. Philosophers warn that skepticism, believing there are no real answers, can be a comfortable escape. But it doesn't satisfy us for long. Our minds naturally seek clarity. We want reasons for our choices. We want our principles to be more than habits or emotions. That's why moral questions return again and again, generation after generation. Studying these dilemmas doesn't make you morally perfect. In fact, it might make you more confused before it makes you wiser. But confusion is a sign of growth. It means you're thinking deeply instead of following the crowd. It means you're wrestling with ideas that shape societies, laws, and relationships. That's where real learning happens. In the end, moral philosophy is a journey, not toward easy answers, but toward clearer understanding. It challenges us, unsettles us, and makes us rethink our place in the world. And maybe that's the point. If this story made you think, question, or reflect, then it's already doing what philosophy is meant to do. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share your thoughts in the comments. What would you do in the trolley dilemma?